you guys are saying that's a $50 bottle of water. I didn't even know that. That's crazy, bro. And then getting ready for the gym. Bro is getting dressed like how girls get dressed before they go to the gym, man. Making it a whole mission. Making sure they fit and wearing jewelry and shit. Bro, going to the gym with a Rolex is wild. This is the exact success point that I'm talking about. When I tell you guys, don't quit your day job. When I tell you guys, get a skill set. When I tell you guys, don't leave your regular job for a social media job until you're making 1.5 to 2 times as much. It's the combat videos precisely like...
This is exactly the kind of video that ruins young men's lives. And nobody in the mainstream wants to admit it. When Myron Gaines is breaking down the dark truth behind influencer culture, fake morning routines, and the social media success corn, he combats what convinces regular guys to torch real careers chasing likes, Rolexes, and algorithms. The media pushes this fantasy nonstop. Wake up at 4 a.m., drink a $50 bottle of water, journal ice on your face, flex luxury, and somehow you're rich, disciplined, and winning at life. What they don't show you? The survivorship bias, the failures, the thousands who quit real jobs and end up broke, directionless, and bitter. Myron isn't hating. He's doing what almost nobody online does anymore. Telling men the truth. Get a skill. Build real leverage. Don't abandon stability for a lottery ticket disguised as freedom, quote unquote. And of course, this kind of realism never gets promoted, because it doesn't sell courses, doesn't feel delusion, and doesn't keep people addicted to scrolling. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and turn notifications on. Let's dive in.
So this shit went fucking viral all over the internet right now, bro. I'll play the video without interrupting, and then we'll go back and talk about this. But this thing has almost 700 million views on X right now, okay? This shit is everywhere, and it's called The Morning Routine. All right, I'm just going to play it out one time for you guys, and then we'll play it again and react to it. So I'm going to play it out for you guys one time uninterrupted.
About the Lord's business.
So looking at it, bro, we got to go ahead and get in at least 10,000. Thank you.
All right. So we're going to watch it again. I'm going to give some commentary this time, right? I wanted you guys to watch it one time uninterrupted without any comments so you guys can kind of formulate your own thoughts, right? Watch it again, and then we'll look at some of the Twitter comments, which are hilarious. But so 3:52 a.m., he gets up and he has this tape over his mouth. And I know that this is popular amongst a lot of people to ensure that they breathe through their nose when they sleep. You know, some people say it's better for you. It helps with your longevity, etc. So they put this stuff on their mouth when they go to bed. So you see here, 3:52 a.m. waking up, right? Some water. I don't know. Apparently this water's called like Saratoga or some shit like that. It's selling on Amazon like crazy because of this video. Then he goes out on the balcony. Does some push-ups. I guess meditating. Writing something in a journal.
So we're going to be serious about the Lord's business.
I think that's the Bible right there. Now, I'm seeing a wave of people putting fucking ice in a bowl and then putting their face in it. Now, obviously, this is like for skin, right? To I guess, maintain elasticity, prevent aging, get rid of wrinkles. And you guys are saying that's a $50 bottle of water? I didn't even know that. That's crazy, bro. Right? So I've been seeing a lot of people doing this shit. And then getting ready for the gym. Bro is getting dressed like how girls get dressed before they go to the gym, man. Making it a whole mission. Making sure they fit and wearing jewelry and shit. Bro, going to the gym with a Rolex is wild. It is not comfortable working out in a Rolex, and I can tell you guys from experience, it's fucking terrible. It is fucking terrible, bro. So goes to the gym, takes a jump in the pool. It goes into the jacuzzi. Goes back, showers, eats a banana, and then he puts the peel on his face. Puts his face in the water again.
So looking at it, bro, we got to go ahead and get...
Before he goes on, it looks like he's doing some kind of Zoom call or some shit like that. Which, you know, it's kind of funny. You don't hear him talk until then, and then you're like, oh, man, this guy's a feminine voice.
Get in at least 10,000.
And that's some girl, probably his mate or his chick.
Thank you.
Like, look. And then some of these comments are funny, bro. Extremely gay, this guy sucks all the cocks. What's up with men wearing women's jewelry these days? Yeah, because this is, I forget what the fuck the name is. Fresh be wearing this shit. Chat, come on. You know me, I don't fuck care about jewelry or whatever, but I forget what the hell the name is. Not the 4 a.m. twerk session. What got me is how it took him 1 whole minute to walk outside. See, I knew niggas were going to be analyzing this shit. Your desk is too high. Niggas making fun of him about that. Right? Watch on in the shower not getting talked about enough. Right? The pool's actually filled with Saratoga water. Someone said this looks gay. Tyrone, are you okay? Worst in the meeting, you're about to explain to us how you blew the budget. Yeah, and then bro locked in before the meeting. You know, it's just like funny shit, bro. Yo, this meme always gets me fucking dead, bro. The Pepe, man. And then some nigga put this, the build-up was the same for this voice. Like, yo, bro, niggas just making fun of him, bro. But, like, look. Starts and stops reading the same minute. Great stuff. Oh, man. Shit is funny, bro. Someone had a funny-ass comment. I don't know where it went. Someone put this nigga bullshit in, and it got like 200K likes or some shit like that. It was hilarious, bro. But the point I'm trying to make here, guys, right? So, look. Remember how I told you guys that the internet is filled with, like, success porn, right? Like, people showing you guys, like, unrealistic shit. This is an example of that, right? Now, let's go back in time. The year's roughly 2013, 2014. Vine is starting to get very popular. Instagram is a thing. People are still using Facebook, but it's on its way kind of getting old. Right? And Instagram is kind of being the switch over. People are on YouTube, but not necessarily, right, as big as they are now. And the 2010s, guys, the ability to make money on the internet as an influencer became real in the 2010s, right? Prior to 2010, if you said you were an influencer, I mean, hell, even up until 2013, 2014, 2015, if you said you were an influencer, people would laugh at you, right? I don't even think Instagram had video yet at this point. right? And they put the video in to combat Vine, as a matter of fact. I think right around 2013, 2014, Instagram added video to combat Vine, and that's what actually ended up putting Vine out of business. I mean, if you guys remember, Vine was this video sharing app that, you know, had like 6 or 7 second long videos, which a lot of big YouTubers today started on Vine, right? People like Logan Paul, people like King Bach, people like Jake Paul, etc. So many, you know, of these influencers became popular first on Vine, then switched on over to Instagram, and then obviously YouTube, right? And the 2010s made it where people were able to actually earn a living and do social media full-time as a career, okay? It was still frowned upon. It was still like, what the hell? Like, what are you talking about making money on YouTube or social media? But it started to become real at that point. And we saw a transition of young people where young people, when asked what they wanted to do for a living, Gen Zers, by the way, it went from being doctor, astronaut, lawyer, you know, cop, firefighter, nurse. It went from that to, I want to be an influencer, right? And this guy, I think if I'm not mistaken, is like in his mid-20s. So this guy's a Zoomer, right? He was born in like the year 2000, more than likely, right around 2000. And I would say my generation, which I'm a millennial, I was born in 1990, we were like the last generation where we were pushed to go to college, we were pushed to get a regular job, we were pushed to like be a real adult, right? But the generations after me, they kind of make fun of it. Oh yeah, I'm adulting. Oh yeah, I'm going to be an influencer. Oh yeah. They were able to basically kind of cut responsibility to a degree, right? And these younger guys, these Gen Zers, they grew up with the iPhone. They grew up with smartphones. They grew up going to school and being able to utilize a smartphone while they're in class. When I was in school, guys, we had Razors, you know, Nokias, right? Anybody here that was born in 1990 or earlier, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, we had the fucking flip phones. We didn't have the access to cell phones that could literally Google information and get you anything you needed to get, let alone being able to record videos on it, right? The ability to be able to record yourself on a cell phone is a relatively new thing, guys. Don't forget about that. Like, I mean, obviously we've had it now for a while, but people forget 20 years ago, we didn't have this type of technology in the palm of your hands. And I say all that to say this. We saw a shift, a huge generational shift of young people wanting to become entrepreneur influencers, okay? And with that need and with that with that shift, you started to see the rise of the online guru, right? You started to see the rise of people trying to promote, oh, you could be an influencer. Oh, you can just buy my course. I'll teach you how to have a laptop lifestyle. I'll teach you how to be an entrepreneur. Like, you don't have to work a 9 to 5, you know, live this lifestyle, right? Have a nice high rise in a major city in the United States and work from your laptop and then, you know, go to the gym when you feel like it and live this really awesome life. And this is actually what I fight against quite a bit. For all of you guys that are aware, you guys call into the show. A lot of you guys say, hey, Myron, I want to be an entrepreneur. Myron, I want to do social media, whatever. What do I always tell you guys? I tell you guys, look, it's not for everybody. It's not easy. And the market's oversaturated. So get a job, get a skill. And if you want to do it on the side and then see how it goes before you segue into it. Because I'm not going to be one of these guys that's telling you, I got a course, just go ahead and be an influencer. I'll teach you how, right? Which, by the way, we are probably going to make something for you guys where I'm going to teach you guys how to make an online podcast course, because we've been getting this asked that a lot. But the point is I'm never going to tell you guys quit your day job. I'm going to tell you guys every single time, get a skill, get a regular job. There's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5, right? And this is one of the beauties, right? And one of the things that I thank God that I had the ability to do, which I worked in the professional world first, okay? For those that don't know, Special Agents of Homeland Security Investigations, right? For 7 years. I worked for the agency for 10. So I understand what it's like to have a regular job, the grind, 9 to 5, etc. And there's nothing wrong with
That is absolutely correct. And I can back that since I also work a 9 to 5 while doing these kinds of videos on the side. It's just risky quitting your job and jump into this space with no backbone, with no prior knowledge, with no mentor to even look out for you. And unfortunately, it's not for everyone. It's a path most people don't necessarily feel comfortable taking, and that's okay. The safest thing you could do is keep your 9 to 5 and work alongside a side hustle. It doesn't necessarily have to be content creation. But anyway, let's continue.
Despite the fact that a lot of these influencers sit there and try to sell you a dream of you can have this laptop lifestyle, you could travel and work and make all this money, it's not real for a majority of people. It simply isn't. Okay? But thanks to the ease of the internet, the ease of technology, the ease of smartphones, etc., everyone now can become an influencer. And we've really seen this explode since 2020. When the pandemic happened, a lot of people lost their jobs, a lot of people lost their income, a lot of people lost sources of revenue. And what ended up happening was a lot of people took their regular job and moved online, or they started to make content online. Even us, right? We even started doing our podcast in 2020 while we still had our real jobs. And the reason why this was so popular is that in 2020, people were stuck in their homes, so they started consuming way more Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, etc. TikTok exploded during this period of time. Right? So it was a really good time to get your foot in as an influencer, right? So it became very popular. This gave rise to a lot of the influencers you see now. If you guys look, a lot of popular streamers, a lot of popular influencers, whatever it may be, especially on the short form content like you guys see here now on Instagram, whatever, they haven't been on that long. You know what I mean? They kind of just blew up, and it's because of the recent explosion on the like of short content. So it started with Vine. Then it went to Instagram. Now it's being held by TikTok, right? TikTok is pretty much the main short form content platform. So why do I say all this? I wanted to build the background for you guys of how content like this has become popular right here, right? The reason why this content is so popular and why it went viral is because deep down, everyone wants to live a lifestyle like this guy. Despite people hating on the comments, despite people talking shit about him, despite people saying that he's a metro or gay or whatever it may be, at the end of the day, this guy lives an awesome life. Let's just call a spade a spade. He has some money. He lives in a high rise. He's going to the gym. He's working a low manual labor job from a computer, making a lot of money, clearly, Rolexes and, expensive bracelets, right? Though metrosexual and sus to some, this is what a lot of people want. So that's why this is blown up, right? The fact that he does some things in here that are a bit ostentatious makes it even more controversial. But the reality is everyone wants to have a life like this to some degree, right? So a lot of people are going to hate on him. Now, my thing with this is I would call this is the exact success porn that I'm talking about. When I tell you guys, don't quit your day job, when I tell you guys, get a skill set, when I tell you guys, don't leave your regular job for a social media job until you're making 1.5 to 2 times as much, it's to combat videos precisely like this. Okay? And that's why I kind of wanted to talk about this, because videos like this is what makes people think or say, oh, I want to have this laptop lifestyle. Oh, I want to be an influencer. Oh, I want to do X, Y, Z. The ostentatious behavior, right? From this guy in this video perfectly symbolizes what people in his age group wish and aspire to have. They don't want 9 to 5s anymore. They want to be able to wake up early or do what they want to do, go to the gym, work their, entrepreneurial job from a computer, make a whole bunch of money, and then go about their day. That's what they want. But the reality is most people are not going to be able to do this. So when I tell you guys, yo, this is not for everybody, don't fall for the bullshit you see on the internet. Videos like this is precisely what I'm talking about. Look, this guy, young guy, obviously killing it. I'm not going to be here to hate. Yes, it is funny that he's, drinking $50 bottles of water and, wearing jewelry in the gym. I do think that's a bit strange, but that's fine. Do your thing. There's nothing wrong with self-care. You guys know me. I tell you guys all the time, I did a hair transplant. I got my teeth straightened. I got my teeth whitened. I go to the gym all the time. Right? Obviously, I don't have like a more refined skincare routine because I've always had pretty decent skin, right? Because I just drink a lot of water and don't do drugs and do dumb shit. But regardless, like, it's cool that he does the self-care. Maybe it's to a whole other level. But the point here is that, yes, you can watch this video and have it maybe make you inspired. But the reality is most people are not going to be able to do this. But why is content like this popular? Content like this is popular because despite people talking shit in the comments and saying they hate this guy, that he's gay or he's metro or insulting him, this is something that a lot of people wish and aspire to have. It really is. And some of you guys can get this lifestyle. I'm not saying y'all can't. But I don't want you guys to quit your day job, right, or give up a good career thinking that this is going to be the way. Because a lot of times when they do this shit, right? They're trying to make you think that you could do this too. And if I'm not mistaken, this guy's like a fitness coach or some shit like that. I think he teaches people how to do fitness businesses, right? So he has an incentive to sell, to show this lifestyle. Oh, look at the freedom I enjoy. Oh, look at what I can do. You could do this too, right? So, yeah, and again, like I said before, this is why I thank God that I had a regular job before this shit. Because I still remember what it's like to, you know, go to the store and be like, oh, I don't got money for this. I'm going to put it back. I still remember what it's like to go to the grocery store and buy food. I remember what it's like to be on a budget. I remember what it's like to, you know, be like, damn, I can't pay this credit card off right now. I gotta wait another week or whatever. Like, I remember that, guys. Like, I've only been on social media for 4 to 5 years, but I had a regular job way before that. So the beauty is that, like, I'm still able to identify with you guys.
Myron isn't attacking success. He's exposing fake success. Major difference. The kind engineered to look aspirational while quietly leading most people straight into failure. That laptop lifestyle, quote unquote, isn't as guaranteed as what most people may think. What makes Myron credible and why this hits is because he's lived both sides. Real job, real grind, real consequences. That's something most influencers will never understand because they went straight from clout to cash without ever touching reality. So let me know down in the comments below. Have you seen people ruin their lives chasing this influencer fantasy? Or have you felt that pressure yourself? If you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Never stop dreaming and never forget to put in work. See you on the next one.